No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline, by Brian Tracy. Introduction. There's a place I want to tell you about. It's a beautiful, sun-drenched island, surrounded by calm, turquoise waters. On this island, the air is filled with wonderful intentions and brilliant ideas. The people there talk endlessly about the books they're going to write, the businesses they're going to start, the weight they're going to lose, and the financial freedom they're going to achieve. They have fantastic dreams. But nothing ever gets done. This place isn't on any map. It's a fantasy island, and it has a name, Someday Isle. Most of us have a little vacation home there. We tell ourselves, someday I'll start that exercise program. Someday I'll upgrade my skills. Someday I'll get my finances in order. Someday. And the chief topic of conversation on Someday Isle? Excuses. Everyone sits around swapping stories about why they can't leave the island just yet. I didn't have a happy childhood. The economy is terrible. My boss doesn't appreciate me. I just don't have the time. They've all come down with a terrible disease, an illness the author Brian Tracy calls excusitis, and it's always fatal to success. What if I told you there's a way to vote yourself off that island, forever? A way to trade the comfortable prison of excuses for the wide-open freedom of achievement? That's the promise of the book we're diving into today. No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline. Brian Tracy isn't just a writer, he's a living testament to this book's message. He didn't graduate from high school and spent his early years in laboring jobs, living paycheck to paycheck. He was a resident of Someday Isle. But one day, a question changed his life. Why are some people more successful than others? His search for an answer led him to a single, powerful truth that became the bedrock of his extraordinary success: building multi-million-dollar businesses, consulting for over 1,000 companies, and speaking to millions of people worldwide. He discovered that the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments is built with one material and one material only: self-discipline. Today, we're going to walk across that bridge. I'm going to share with you the simple, profound framework that Tracy lays out. By the end of our time together, you won't just understand the power of self-discipline, you'll have a clear blueprint to build it in your own life, to finally leave Someday Isle behind and start sailing toward the life you were always meant to live. Book summary. Let's begin with a simple, honest question. Why do we fail? Why do we set goals on January 1st only to abandon them by February? Why do we know exactly what we need to do to improve our lives, yet find ourselves doing the exact opposite? It's not because we're lazy or unintelligent. Brian Tracy tells us it's because our minds are wired with two powerful, competing forces that are at war within us every single minute of the day. The first is what he calls the path of least resistance. This is our natural, almost magnetic pull toward what is easy, comfortable, and familiar. It's the voice that whispers, "Just hit the snooze button one more time," or "Let's watch one more episode." It tells you to take the shortcut, to do just enough to get by. The second, and even more dangerous, is the expediency factor. This is our desire for immediate gratification. It's the part of our brain that chooses what is fun and easy right now, with little or no thought for the long-term consequences. It's the impulse that makes us eat the dessert before the dinner. Think about it. You come home after a long day. You know you should go to the gym, or work on that side project, or read a book that will expand your mind. That's the hard, necessary work, the dinner. But instead, you collapse on the couch and turn on the television. That's the dessert. It feels good in the moment, but it leaves you feeling sluggish, empty, and with an appetite for nothing productive for the rest of the evening. When you live your life by the path of least resistance and the expediency factor, you are essentially a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the currents of comfort and impulse take you. And here's the tough truth: those currents never, ever lead to a destination called success. So, How do we fight back? How do we take control of the ship? Tracy says the answer begins with a revelation that changed his own life. Sitting alone one cold winter night in a tiny apartment, working a back-breaking construction job. He realized, with the force of a lightning strike, that no one was coming to save him. No one else was responsible for his life. If anything was going to change, it was up to him. This is the first and hardest discipline of all, the discipline of responsibility. Accepting 100% responsibility is the antidote to the disease of excusitis. It means you stop blaming your parents, your boss, the economy, or your past for where you are today. The moment you say, "I am responsible," you take your power back. You move from being a victim of your circumstances to being the creator of your life. This isn't easy. It's so much easier to blame. Blaming feels good for a moment. It protects our ego. But Tracy points out a profound truth. You cannot have a negative emotion without blame. Think about it. Anger, resentment, envy, they all require a target. You're angry at someone. You resent something. The moment you say "I am responsible," those negative emotions lose their fuel. You can't be angry and accept responsibility at the same time. When you accept responsibility, you're no longer a child waiting for someone else to fix things. You become an adult, in the driver's seat of your own life. This is the great transition from maturity to mastery. And once you're in the driver's seat, where do you go? This leads to the second great discipline, the discipline of goals. Most people think they have goals, but what they really have are wishes and hopes. A wish, Tracy says, is a goal with no energy behind it. The difference between a drifting ship and a powerful speedboat is a clear destination and a plan to get there. The research is staggering. Only about 3% of adults have clear, written goals. And that 3% earns more than the other 97% put together. Why? Because a written goal activates a success mechanism in your brain. It gives you a track to run on every single day. Tracy offers a simple, powerful 7-step method to turn your wishes into reality. It's a process that requires the discipline to sit down and think, but it can increase your chances of success by 1,000%. Step 1. Decide exactly what you want. Be specific. Don't say "I want to make more money." Say "I will earn $100,000 by December 31st of next year." Clarity is power. Step 2. Write it down. A goal that isn't written down is just smoke. It's a fantasy. Writing it down crystallizes it. It makes it real. It impresses it upon your subconscious mind, which then goes to work 24/7 to make it a reality. Step 3. Set a deadline. A deadline acts as a forcing system in your brain. It creates a healthy pressure that motivates you into action. And what if you don't hit the deadline? You simply set a new one. A deadline is just a best guess. The commitment to the goal is what matters. Step 4. Make a list of everything you can think of that you need to do to achieve your goal. Every single step, no matter how small. What obstacles will you face? What new skills will you need? Who can help you? Just dump it all out onto paper. Step 5. Organize that list into a plan. What comes first? What comes second? What's most important? What's less important? You are now creating the blueprint for your success. Step 6. Take action on your plan immediately. Do something. Do anything. The difference between winners and losers is that winners are action-oriented. They take the first step, even when they're not guaranteed success. And finally, step 7, the one that ties it all together. Do something every single day that moves you toward your major goal. 7 days a week. 365 days a year. Even one small step builds momentum. And momentum is what makes you feel powerful, motivated, and unstoppable. To make this even more practical, Tracy suggests a daily habit he calls the 10-goal exercise. Every morning, take a clean sheet of paper and write down your 10 most important goals in the present tense, as if you've already achieved them. For example, I weigh 180 pounds, or I earn X amount of dollars. Don't look at yesterday's list. Just write them from memory. This simple act of rewriting your goals every day programs them deep into your mind. It focuses you. It makes you alert to opportunities. It's like setting the guidance system on a missile. Then, you review your list of 10 and ask a magic question. If I could achieve any one of these goals in the next 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life? Circle that one goal. That becomes your major definite purpose. It's your North Star. You then apply the 7-step process to that one goal and focus the majority of your energy there. This process of disciplined goal setting is like having a homing pigeon's instinct built into your brain. A homing pigeon can be put in a box, driven 1,000 miles away, and when released, it will circle 3 times and fly straight home. You have that same ability. Once you lock a clear goal into your mind, you don't even need to know how you'll get there. Your internal guidance system will start moving you unerringly toward your destination, and it will start moving your destination toward you. But having a destination is not enough. You also need a powerful engine. And that engine is fueled by the discipline of personal excellence. Tracy makes a crucial point. Your most valuable asset isn't your house or your car. It's your earning ability. And your earning ability is like a muscle. If you don't work it, it gets weaker. If you exercise it consistently, it grows stronger and more powerful every year. He shares a sobering statistic. Most people learn their job in the first year and then never get any better. They just coast. But as he says, the only direction you can coast is downhill. The top 20% of people in every field are committed to lifelong learning. They understand a simple rule. To earn more, you must learn more. How do you do this? It comes down to a few simple, daily disciplines. First, read in your field for 60 minutes every day. Turn off the television, put away the distractions, and invest 1 hour in becoming better at what you do. 1 hour a day translates into about 1 book a week. That's 50 books a year. Since the average adult reads less than 1 nonfiction book a year, this habit alone will give you an insurmountable edge. Within 3 to 5 years, you will become a national authority in your field. Second, listen to educational audio programs in your car. Turn your car into a university on wheels. The average person spends 500 to 1,000 hours a year driving. That's the equivalent of 1 to 2 full university semesters. Imagine the knowledge you could gain in that time. Many people have gone from rags to riches simply with this one habit. And third, attend courses and seminars regularly. Seek out opportunities to learn from experts. Tracy suggests a powerful rule of thumb. Invest 3% of your income back into yourself. If you earn $50,000 a year, that's $1,500 dedicated to your own growth. This is the magic number that the most profitable companies invest in training their people. When you invest in yourself, you are treating yourself as an appreciating asset. Your value goes up every year. He tells the story of a young salesman earning $20,000 a year who heard this idea. He decided to try it. He invested $600, 3% of his income, in books and audio programs. That year, his income jumped to $30,000. The next year, he invested 3% of $30,000, $900, and his income jumped to $50,000. He then decided to go all in and invest 10% of his income back into himself every year. When Tracy met him again, his annual income had passed $1 million. This commitment to excellence is what separates the average from the extraordinary. It's not about talent, it's about disciplined effort. As the book says, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Now, we've talked about taking responsibility, setting goals, and committing to excellence. But there's a giant wall that stops most people from ever putting these into practice. A wall made of fear. This brings us to the discipline of courage. Tracy says that everyone is afraid. The brave person isn't someone who feels no fear. The brave person is someone who disciplines themselves to act in spite of the fear. A hero is just someone who sticks in there 5 minutes longer. The two biggest fears that sabotage our success are the fear of failure and the fear of rejection. These fears paralyze us. They whisper "I can't" and keep us from taking the very risks that are necessary for growth. Fortunately, all fears are learned, which means they can be unlearned. How? By confronting them. The rule is simple. Move toward the fear. When you move toward something you fear, it gets smaller. When you back away from it, it grows larger until it dominates your life. If you're afraid of public speaking, join Toastmasters. If you're a salesperson afraid of rejection, Tracy suggests the 100 call method. Go out and call on 100 prospects as fast as you can, with a single goal: to get rejected. Don't even try to make a sale. By deliberately facing the thing you fear, you desensitize yourself to it. Your fear of rejection disappears, because you realize it's not personal. You become bulletproof. Courage isn't just about taking the first step. It's also about what Tracy calls courageous patience. This is the ability to hang in there, to keep working and fighting after you've taken the leap of faith but before you've seen any results. It's the discipline to keep going when you feel like quitting. And that leads directly to the final core discipline, the one Napoleon Hill called the master key to riches, the discipline of persistence. Persistence is self-discipline in action. It's what separates the winners from the losers. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Life will test you. Just when you're committed to a new goal, you'll be hit with an unexpected setback, a temporary failure, or a major problem. This is what Tracy calls the persistence test. It's life's way of asking, how badly do you really want this? Your ability to respond effectively to these setbacks is the true measure of your character. It's not how far you fall, but how high you bounce. When you get knocked down, you have to find the discipline to get back up, to learn the lesson, and to keep moving forward. The key to persistence is optimism. You must have boundless confidence in your ability to ultimately succeed. You must look for the good in every situation, seek the valuable lesson in every setback, and focus on the solution, not the problem. As Napoleon Hill wrote, within every problem or obstacle lies the seed of an equal or greater opportunity or benefit. Your job is to find it. When you resolve in advance that you will never, ever give up, your success is virtually guaranteed. Because in the end, nothing can stop you but yourself. These 5 disciplines, responsibility, goals, excellence, courage, and persistence, are the pillars of a successful life. They are not complicated, but they are hard. They require you to choose the difficult right over the easy wrong, every single day. And this isn't just about your career or your finances. This is about everything. The book goes on to show how these same principles apply to building a great marriage, raising self-confident children, achieving excellent health, and finding true peace of mind. In your relationships, self-discipline means listening without interrupting. It means being willing to change and make sacrifices for the person you love. In your health, it means eating less and exercising more. It means having the willpower to say no to the instant gratification of unhealthy foods in favor of the long-term reward of vitality and long life. Ultimately, the practice of self-discipline is about building character. Every time you choose to do the right thing, you strengthen your character. You become a better, stronger person. The greatest benefit you receive from the pursuit of your goals isn't the material reward at the end, it's the person you become along the way. As Tracy concludes, self-discipline is the master key that unlocks all the doors of opportunity. With it, an average person can rise as far as their talents can take them. Without it, even a person with every advantage will seldom rise above mediocrity. It is the real secret to living a life without excuses, and without limits. Commentary. As we wrap up our journey through Brian Tracy's No Excuses, I find myself thinking about how simple and yet how profound this message is. In a world that is constantly searching for the next life hack, the next shortcut, the next secret to overnight success, this book stands as a powerful, timeless reminder that there are no shortcuts. The elevator to success is out of order, but the stairs are always open. What strikes me most about Tracy's work is its raw honesty. He doesn't offer a magic pill. He offers a mirror. He forces us to confront the excuses we've been telling ourselves, the comfortable stories we've constructed to explain why we aren't where we want to be. And then, with the warmth of a trusted mentor, he hands us the tools to build a better reality. The core lesson here isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter on yourself. It's about realizing that you are your most valuable asset. The idea of investing 3% of your income back into your own growth is one of the most practical and powerful pieces of advice I've ever encountered. It reframes learning not as a chore, but as the single best investment you can ever make, one that pays compound interest for the rest of your life. The principles in this book are, in many ways, the foundation upon which all other self-improvement is built. You can have the best strategies for business, the most innovative ideas, and the grandest visions, but without the discipline to execute them, they remain fantasies on someday I'll. Self-discipline isn't one of the keys to success, it is the master key that opens every other door. So, how can you start applying this today? Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now? Let me offer 3 simple actions you can take, drawn directly from the book, that will begin to build your self-discipline muscle immediately. First, vote yourself off the island. Pick one, just one, excuse that you use regularly. Maybe it's I don't have time, or I'm too tired, and for the next 24 hours, make a conscious decision not to use it. When the thought arises, simply say to yourself, no more excuses, and take one small action in the opposite direction. If you're too tired to work out, just put on your gym clothes. That's it. Start with a win you can't refuse. Second, do the 10-goal exercise tonight before you go to bed. Take out a piece of paper and write down 10 goals you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Don't overthink it. Just write. This simple act of putting your dreams on paper is a powerful declaration to your subconscious mind that you are serious. It will cost you 5 minutes and could change the entire trajectory of your year. Third, eat your dinner before your dessert. Tomorrow, identify the most important, most challenging task on your to-do list, your A1 task. And then, discipline yourself to work on that task first thing in the morning, before you do anything else. Before you check email, before you scroll through social media, before you get lost in low-value activities. Win your morning, and you will win your day. These small acts are the seeds of a transformed life. Because self-discipline isn't a trait you're born with. It's a skill you build, one small, disciplined choice at a time. Each time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. That was a look at No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. We've explored the core ideas today, but a summary is like looking at a map of a beautiful country. The real adventure, the real transformation, happens when you decide to take the journey yourself. The magic is in the details, in the stories and the subtle shifts in perspective that occur when you engage directly with the author's words. If anything we've discussed has sparked something in you, I encourage you to pick up a copy. Reading it isn't just about gathering information, it's an experience that can fundamentally change how you approach your daily life and your future. You can find a link to the book in the description below. And if you found this summary valuable, it would mean the world to me if you'd hit that subscribe button. That way, you won't miss our next deep dive into another life-changing book from the billionaire's bookshelf. Let's keep learning and growing together.